So we are in the middle of Basi Legani Tafshin Chof. We are holding on, let's see. Mind closing the door there so we'll get less
air?
From that room. No, not this door. This door is... Okay, where are we holding? No. Sif Dalet, if I remember correctly. Want to help me out over here? Page Yutes, am I right? Sif Dalet, yes. Mamshech Maamar. So this begins a new inyan here. Page Yutes. It's a new detail here in the Friediger Rebbe's the Maamar Ois Yud. Mamshech Maamar, the Friediger Rebbe continues saying in his Maamar as follows: Val Shem Ze Nikram Yisrael Tzivus Havaya. It's because of this Aveda that Yidden do in the world, they are called Tzivus Havaya, the legions of Hashem. Kamishakasov, as the pasuk says, by Yitzias Mitzrayim, Vayihi be'etzem hayoyim hazeh, Yotzu kol Tzivus Havaya me'eretz Mitzrayim. And it was on this day that the Tzivus Havaya, the legions of Hashem, left Mitzrayim. Hinei Tzivus Havaya kavonahu al Yisrael. Tzivus Havaya here is referring to Yidden. The Yidden went out of Mitzrayim. And as we see in another pasuk, Vayihi be'etzem hayom hazeh, hoitzi Havayas b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim, al tzivaisam. So in this pasuk it says b'nei Yisrael, and then it says regarding b'nei Yisrael, al tzivaisam. So we clearly see that the expression of tzivus Havaya and tzivaisam refers to Yidden. So the Rebbe now explains, till here's the quote of the Friediger Rebbe's Maamar. The Rebbe now explains why the Friediger Rebbe brings two psukim. Yesh levayir hatam she'enim mistapek berayeh me'akosu vayihi be'etzem hayom hazeh yotzu kol tzivus havaya me'eretz Mitzrayim. Why is it not enough the first pasuk he quotes? It's clear, tzivus havaya is the Yidden. Who else is it? Yidden went out of Mitzrayim. So the answer is, lefi shemetzinu b'mechilte B'Pirish, Yotzu Kol Tzivus Havaya, in the Medrash it says that who is Tzivus Havaya in that first pasuk that was quoted, Elu Tzvois Malachei Ashoris, these are legions of the Malachim that came out of Mitzrayim along with the Yidden. U'kamashakasav B'Tfilas Hishayna, we say this also in the Hishaynas on Sukkos, Ka'ishaita Goy Velikim Chulu, Ka'ishaita Hamoin Tzvois, V'imam Malachei Tzvois. That together with the Yidden that came out of Mitzrayim, there were malachei tzvois, there were legions of malachim that also were redeemed, also came out of Mitzrayim. Hainu, shegam tzvois, malachei ashoris, yotzam Mitzrayim b'shas hagula. There were legions of malachim that left Mitzrayim at the time of the redemption. So in the first pasuk, when it says tzivus havaya, you could always say it refers to the malachim, not necessarily to Yidden. Ulechein, maybe oidraya mimashakosov hoitzi havayas b'nei Yisrael meretz Mitzrayim al tzvoisam. So therefore the Friediger Rebbe brings a second pasuk of Hoitzi Havayas b'nei Yisrael, she Yisrael nikroim tzivus Havaya. In this pasuk it's clear that it's the Yidden that are referred to as tzivus Havaya. That's why he brings two psukim. If you look in the Maamar of the Friediger Rebbe, he actually brings a third pasuk. Here the Rebbe doesn't explain why the Friediger Rebbe brings a third pasuk, but in the Sicha that the Rebbe said in Parshas B'Shalach after Yud Shvat that year, the Rebbe explains it. It's printed later here in the Kuntris. Tzivay Seichem, I think it was. Take a look a second. It's on the top of page Ches. Yeah, Tzivay Seichem. Ki be'etzem hayom hazeh hoitzeisi es Tzivay Seichem. Third pasuk. Yeah. So there's a hesbid later in the Sikha why there are three psukim. Let's continue in the Maamar here. Mamshech Maamar, the Friediger Rebbe continues explaining in the Maamar, asking a question. The question is, Mahu zeh the Yisrael nikra tzivus Havaya. What's the pshat in this fact that here Yidden are referred to as tzivus Havaya, the legions of Hashem? And the Friediger Rebbe explains this question. The shem tzvois leiniske b'Torah. The name tzvois, which is one of the Eibish's holy names, is not mentioned in Torah. V'kan kaires Yisrael tzivus Havaya. And here Yidden are referred to as tzivus Havaya. This is the lashon of the Friediger Rebbe's Maamar. So you look at this question that the Friediger Rebbe asks, it's not clear what his question is. Because l'chayre, these are two totally different things. There's the fact that Yidden are called tzivus Havaya, and there's the Tzvois, which is one of the Eibish's holy names. So if you want to stam ask a question, why punkt are Yidden described as Tzivus Havaya at this point when they leave Mitzrayim? It's a question, okay? But the Friediger Rebbe adds to his question that the basis of his question, that Yidden should not be referred to as Tzivus Havaya here is because the Eibish's name of Tzvois is not found in Torah. That's a different Inyan. That's referring to a title of the Eibush, and this is referring to the Yidden. What's the connection of these two Inyanim? That's the big problem here to understand what the Friediger Rebbe means by this question. So the Rebbe will explain this here. To understand the question of the Friediger Rebbe, so the Rebbe gives the following introduction. What is Golus? The existence of Golus, whatever pain and suffering that the Yidden are suffering in Golus, that's just a manifestation of the source of what Golus is about. What Golus really is in concealment and godliness. Mizeh move on, if so, from this we can understand towards the bottom of your test. Shenyona shalal geula, and was besteht geula? What does geula consist of? That the Yidden are redeemed from Mitzrayim. V'ha'ofen shal yadei boa geula. What is it that causes the redemption? Hu al yidei gilui elokos, when there's a revelation of godliness. That's the difference between Golus and Geula. Rebbe will also discuss later in the Maimon. It says also in other places, Golus is compared to a pregnancy and Geula is compared to a birth. The difference between Golus and Geula is concealment or revelation. That's the essence of Golus and Geula. It's not just about the Yidden geographically in the place where they were under the rule of Mitzrayim, and then the Yidden are leaving Mitzrayim. But of course, it's a spiritual thing that there's a revelation that takes Yidden out of Mitzrayim. Val pizeh. If so, Tzrichen b'nei Yisrael lehikare. At this point, when Yidden are being redeemed, so the title that the Torah chooses to give Yidden here should be ba'ofen amasim. It should be befitting lebechinas ha'or hanimshach al yedei shmeisav yizbarach, the revelation of the Eibishter's name that's revealed at this point. Shenis gala b'zman zeh. That's revealed when Yidden leave Mitzrayim. Right. So the Yidden experienced some kind of revelation. Yidden got elevated on a deeper level of relationship with Hashem. So what the name that Yidden are being given there, it should reflect that greater revelation and that greater level that Yidden reached at the time of the Geula. What would be that name? That would be a name that's connected to the revelation of Shem Havaya, the name of Havaya specifically. Where do we see Dafka Havaya? As it says, Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu, I've appeared to the Ovis Bekel Shin Daled Yud, but a Shmi Havaya lo nedaiti lohem. I did not appear to the Ovis with the name Havaya. Right, so the implication of that pasuk is that all the other names that were written earlier in the Torah by the Ovis that are before the Geula of Mitzrayim are names that are below this revelation of Yitzias Mitzrayim. Havaya, when the Eibush is telling Moshe Rabbeinu when he's beginning the process of the Geula, which starts with all the Makkis and then the final revelation and the redemption, is connected to Shem Havaya. So the name over here that Yidden should have been referred to should be a name connected to the Shem Havaya that they're experiencing. And yet, not only are Yidden not referred to over here with a name, at least connected to the name of Shindal Yud that was revealed in the time of the Avais, even more so, Shenikru Tzivais. The Yidden, the term that the Yidden are referred to is Tzivais. Al Shem Tzvais Dafka. The name Tzivais that Yidden have is connected to the name Tzvais of Hashem. So Taket Tzivais is a description of Yidden. Tzvais is one of the Eibishter's names. But the name Tzivais that Yidden are being given here is because of the Eibishter's name, Tzivais. It's connected to the Eibishter's name, Tzivais. So that's the big pella. That's the question of the Friediger Rebbe. How does this name, Tzivais, fit into this time when Yidden are being redeemed from Mitzrayim? True, Tzivais is one of the Eibishter's 7 holy names that may not be erased, but this is a revelation, this is a name that wasn't used even in the times of the Abbas. In the times of Moshe Rabbeinu, definitely, when there were greater revelations than the Avos, this is definitely a name that wasn't used. Afilale Bazman de Golus Mitzrayim. Not even when Yidden are in Golus, and there's a Hel and Hester, we don't find the name of Tzvais. So Omikol Shekem Bizman HaGeula was definitely the time when Yidden are being redeemed. Shumaimu de Matzav Naila Yoser B'Kemay Shahayi Bizman HaGolus, where Yidden are being elevated to a much higher level than they are in the time of Golus. So for sure the name Tzvais does not fit in, is not a good description for that level of revelation. And yet, specifically at this time when you have such a great revelation of Avaya, such a high, like it says in other places, the Eibishter himself comes and redeems Yidden, Nikru Yisrael al Shem Shem Tzvais. The title of Yidden is Tzivus Avaya, which is related dafka to the name Tzvais, which is a name that's only mentioned much later on in Nach. That's the question of the Frierdiker Rebbe.
Which name does reflect the same Avaya?
A name of the Yidden? No, he doesn't bring it. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Look, there's different names of Klal Yisrael. There's Yisrael, there's Yaakov, and there's Yeshurun. Right? Those are the three names. Maybe there's more.
Do you ever see somewhere that Yisrael reflects?
That it's corresponding to different names of the Eibishter? No. No, I can't say that conclusively.
Is the Shem of Yisrael? Like
that what?
Yisrael? Or
it's a description of Yidden. It's a description of Yidden. What's a name? A name, you have a name like Reuven Shimon, and you have a name like Chanon Racham Chosed, which is a description of a person. Or so over here, Tzivus Avaya is a description of Klal Yisrael. Look, the simple pshat of Tzivus is just legions, like when you have many, many Yidden together. So Yidden left Mitzrayim, 600,000 Yidden together, men, women, and children. So that's a simple pshat of why it says here Tzivus. But the Frierdiker Rebbe says that the name Tzivos you don't find in any other place in Torah.
Except that it's Tzivos Havaya.
Tzivos
Havaya.
It does say Havaya, correct. But it does. But it's not Havaya alone, though. It's Havaya that comes through the name Tzivos, which is already a Tzimtzum. The name Tzivos is connected to Tzivos.
We don't know which name reflects directly corresponds to Havaya.
There probably is, but it's not Tzivos, though. It's not Tzivos. Tzivos is related to the name Tzivos.
And what's Tzivyain? That it also relates to Tzivyain.
Tzivyain. Tzivyain is one of the pirushim of Tzivos, of Tzivos, which the Rebbe will explain later. The word Tzivyain means a form. It's a different Indian. We'll see. The Rebbe will explain it later.
I don't know where it's brought down in Tanakh. It's maybe over there it's talking about like a very high group.
In Nach, where it's brought down, the Rebbe will bring later. The first one that said the name Tzivos in Nach is Chana, when she davened for children. You have by Shmuel once or twice where it uses the name Tzvos. And then Be'ikir, it's by the Nevi'im Achreinim, Chag Yischarya Malachi. Their nevuahs with the same Tzvos. Dafka the Nevi'im Achreinim, because the Nevi'im Achreinim is already the beginning of a matzav related to Golus. Yidden Klal Yisrael are on a lower level, so the name Tzvos, which is a lower level of Gilui, is used. Right over here, we're talking about Yidden coming out of Mitzrayim, the greatest point of revelation that Klal Yisrael experienced at that time, and coming to Matan Torah. Dafke here Tzvos is used, which is related Tzivos Havaya, which is related to Tzvos is used.
Based on this, that it's one design Shemesh and Chokim, so it's not a description of Hashem. It is the Shem Hashem.
Correct. It's one of the Eibishter's names. Yeah, I mean all the names of the Eibishter are connected to another midah. Keil b'chesed, Elikim b'gvura, Tzvos is Netzach, as we'll learn soon. But yeah. To understand the point of this question on a deeper level, Yuvan Alpi Mashemevayek Kvekdushas Admor Zokin will understand this based on what the Alter Rebbe explains. The Maim of the Alter Rebbe, this is the Maim in Torah on this pasuk of Be'etzem Hayom Hazeh that the Tzivos Havaya went out of Mitzrayim. So the Alter Rebbe there begins with what it says in the Gemara, from the day that the Eibishter created his world, there wasn't any human being that referred to the Eibishter with the term Tzvos until Chana came and she davened to the Eibishter, and over there she uses the term Tzvos. So what's the significance of this? What's the chiddush? Why wasn't the name Tzvos used before? Why is it only used at a later point? Vayishon, the Alter Rebbe there explains. First, the Alter Rebbe gives a general explanation regarding Hashem's names. What's the concept of a name? By a human being, we know what a name is. But what is the idea of a name regarding the Eibishter? He explains there the names of the Eibishter, they are referring to the Kalim, specifically the Kalim of the 10 spheres of Atzilus. In those Kalim you have the revelation of the infinite light of Hashem. And the unity of Hashem with these Kalim is an absolute unity. Al darech, like it says regarding Atzilus, the iyu v'garmoi hichad. He, the Eibishter himself, and the Kalim that exist in the world of Atzilus are all unified with the revelation of Ein Sof that's there. This is the words of the Alter Rebbe. Now the Rebbe will explain this more in detail what this means. So what we have here in the words of the Alter Rebbe is the Eibishter's name refers to Kalim. What does this mean? Let's see. The pshat in the words of the Alter Rebbe is the hinei klol is in Hashem l'maylo. The idea of a name that we use legabe the Eibishter zayin shem shein chokim. There's 7 different names that may not be erased. To al derech in Hashem l'mata. We could understand that from looking at what a name is here below in this world. What is a name? When you give a person a name, what's the function of a name? The function of a name is for communication, in order to be able to refer to this person. Right? So the name is not a necessary component of the existence of the person himself. The name is also when the person has to relate to others. So therefore the name by a human being is only a ray of the existence of the person, that part of the person which is expressed and relates to others. So the same thing is also when it comes to a name by the Eibishter. Those revelations that are revealed and drawn out and drawn down from the Eibishter, from above, that's where the concept of a name applies. When it comes to the essence of the Eibishter, it's Anoichi. There is no name. Or like it says many times in the Chassidus, the Lashon of the Zohar, Lo Yisramez, Lo B'Shem Shem, Lo B'Kaitz. The Eibishter himself can't be described with a name. A name is a revelation, an expression, where the Eibishter is relating to the world, to any existence. There's a name. Now the Rebbe adds another point. So according to what we're saying now, that would mean that a name refers to the Oyer, to the revelation, to the expression of Hashem's existence. So the Rebbe says no. We said before it's the Kalim. The Rebbe explains now. Omnam, however, in order that those expressions, the light, the revelation of Hashem, should be a revelation which is gili, which is actually revealed to us, a revelation that should reach any place. That's only when those revelations are limited, they have some description, it's defined. If the revelation of Hashem is undefined, so then those revelations cannot be accepted by anybody. V'hainu, meaning as follows. It's impossible to know or to receive any revelation of Hashem has some title or has some description, or has some definition. What's the Eibishter himself? The Eibishter himself is bligvul. Eibishter is unlimited. So if you have any expression of the Eibishter himself which is unlimited, so by definition the expression of the source which is unlimited will also be unlimited. So there's no way that it could be communicated and received by any entity. Eibishter himself is unlimited, so that doesn't change when it comes to the Oyer. As we know, it says in many places, the Oyer is me'ein amoyer. The Oyer reflects the same nature of the source. It's not something which there's any tzimtzum where the Eibishter designs a certain revelation, just like the Oyer that comes out from the Shemesh. The Oyer that comes out from the Shemesh comes out b'derech memela. The brightness of the sun emanates, it shines, it comes out. So whatever nature, whatever power, the light of the sun itself is, that's the type of light that will come out. So it's the same thing also with Oyer L'Mayla. Oyer L'Mayla is not some separate entity that Hashem does or communicates. The Oyer is the natural expression of the brightness, so to speak, of the essence of Hashem. So if the Eibishter himself is unlimited, the Oyer is not something that could be communicated and received in a limited way by any entity. So therefore, Oyer itself is not something that could be defined or described or received. So what do we need? So here's where we need Kalim. V'hu anikra kli ha'or. So this is where you have Kalim, which is the Kayach of the Eibishter. What are Kalim? The source of Kalim also comes from the Eibishter himself. Just like Or comes from the Eibishter, the Kalim come from the Eibishter as well. This is the Kayach of the Eibishter to define the Or. Shal Yoda Yechalim L'Kabel Asar. Through the Kalim, now the expression of Hashem could be received. You have Oira Chesed, Oira Gvura, Oira Teferes, the 10 Spheres, and it can be received on a defined level. That's the concept of Kalim.
So is it mitzad the source or mitzad us, or both? It makes a kli so that also it should be tzimtzum mitzad kevayachal the Eibishter and mitzad us from both.
But the purpose of the tzimtzum is for the Kabbalah, in order that it should be received. That's the purpose of the tzimtzum. But let me explain a second the point of the Kalim here. Just like Er is one of the Eibishter's kayachis, or it's an expression of the Eibishter, Kalim is also an expression of the Eibishter's kayach. There's the expression that's brought in Chassidus in many places, just like the Eibishter has the power to be bligvul, to express himself in an unlimited fashion. The Eibishter has the power to be limited as well, to function and do things in a limited way. And the famous word that's brought from the Avedas HaKadosh is, if you're going to say that the Eibishter could only express in an unlimited way and could not express anything in a limited way, then that itself is limiting the Eibishter. So just like the source of the Eiris is expressing the Eibishter's unlimited power because of his unlimited existence, the Kayach of Kalim, which is to define that the Eibishter could communicate from himself to a limited creation, is also a Kayach that comes from the Eibishter himself. Right? So besides having the Oir, which is the unlimited expression, you have to have the second component, which is the Eibishter's Kayach HaGvul, to define that revelation, so that it could be received by an entity, by creation. Those are the Kalim. There's a very lengthy discussion about this in Chassidus regarding Eiris and Kalim. Sometimes it says that Kalim have even a deeper shadish than the Eir itself. We learned about this many times over here in different Maimonim. Okay, let's go weiter now. So now here we come back to a name. So now when you talk about a name, the 7 holy names of the Eibishter that may not be erased, this refers to the Eibishter's revelations, the Eir, but specifically those Eiris once they are contained and defined by the Kalim. Every Eir, when you have Eir Chesed, Eir Gvura, it's different levels of Kalim. There's various different levels that define and describe the Eir for the function that Eir is going to be accomplishing, whether it's Chesed, Gvura, or everything else. That's where the names are. So now we go to the next point here. Now that we know what Eiris are b'chlal, we could now come and understand what is the distinction between the Eiris in Atzilus and the Eiris the distinction between all of the other names of the Eibishter, which are names that are used in Torah, and the name of Tzvais, which is not used in Torah at all. It's only used in Nach, Chana, and by the later Nevi'im. What is it? So Tzvais is a name that's different. What's the difference? When it comes to the Eibishter's 7 holy names that may not be erased, there are these names which are a revelation of the Eibishter in the world of Atzilus, which are all the names of the Eibishter. Usually when you talk about the Eibishter's holy names, so we're talking about not the essence of the Eibishter himself. We're talking about only a revelation of Hashem. And not only a revelation, we're talking about a name that's contained and defined. It's contained and defined, but it's still all in the world of Atzilus. What's the Inyan of Atzilus? The Iyah v'chayayechad, Iyah v'garmayechad. Atzilus is a place where the unity of Hashem is felt in every part of the existence of that world. Whether it's Chayayi refers to the Eiris, or Garmayi refers to the Kalim, it's all one. The unity of Hashem is felt everywhere. Hainu, which means she'enam nikarim l'metzias b'fnei atzma. Whatever there is in the world of Atzilus, they do not recognize themselves as a separate entity. Elohim nivloim u'miyuchadim b'yisbarach. They're absorbed and unified with the Eibishter himself. Shezau ha'mayim dematzev de'elam Atzilus. This is the condition of the world of Atzilus. Shenikra olam ha'achtos. It's a world of unity. Shekulei elikos. It's a world which is purely godliness. Ulechein misyachet eirein seif leira kema eiris. Not only is the infinite power of Hashem felt there in the Eiris of Atzilus, where you have the revelation of Hashem in Atzilus, which is what Iyu v'Chaya Yichad means, referring to the Eiris, Elegama Kelim. Even the defined aspect of the world Atzilus, even that part of Atzilus which is seemingly limited and defined, Iyu v'Garmo Yichad. What's sensed in the world of Atzilus is that everything is one with the Eibishter himself. What this means in simple words is, when you look at, let's take Iyu v'Garmoi, because that's the bigger chiddush of Atzilus. The fact that the revelations of Hashem and Atzilus are unified with Him, because that's the revelations, that's the Eiris. The Eiris is a direct expression of Hashem, so therefore it feels its source. Eir is not an entity for itself. An Eir always feels where it comes from. The source, it's never independent from the source. That's easier to understand. But Kalim is a limited being. Kalim is to define and to describe that this is Chesed and this is Gvura, it's two separate things, l'chayra. When you talk about Kalim, over here you feel l'chayra, a certain level of separation and limitation. The chiddush of the world of Atzilus is that the presence of Eir Ein Sof is so powerful that even the Gvul of Atzilus is really bli Gvul. Even in the aspect of Gvul of Atzilus, what's sensed in the world of Atzilus is that even Gvul is just another mode of expression of the Eibishter. As I mentioned before, the Eibishter can function in a manner of Bli Gvul and he can function in a manner of Gvul. So when you see Gvul, if you're in a place of separation, which is lower than Atzilus, like the Rebbe will explain soon, and once you're outside of the world of Atzilus, we don't have the presence of Hashem there, so then Gvul identifies itself as Gvul. It identifies itself as a limited, separate creation of Hashem. In the world of Atzilus, where there's a revelation of the Eibishter, Gvul does not identify itself as Gvul. Gvul identifies itself as another detail of the power of Hashem. Another aspect of what the Eibishter could do. He can even function in a place of Gvul. So therefore, in the world of Atzilus, everything, including Kalim, is all unified. Is all just an expression of Hashem's power. That's the world of Atzilus. And that's where all the names of the Eibishter refer to. The names of the Eibishter is a description of the unity of Hashem in the world of Atzilus. Continue tomorrow, Mitzvah Hashem.